Is crypto done going down? How far can it go down before we should start panicking? And can one coin go up while another coin goes down? These are all questions we're going to be answering today. So let's get started. First of all, looking at the banter bubbles at these meme coins, you can see that there are more green than red, which is a very good sign in a bull market. But something else we can see is that many of these coins that are green were red yesterday, were red 2 days ago, were red 3 days ago. A lot of these coins have been red in the past couple of hours. Well, not hours, in the past couple of days, which means that they were at a discounted price and now they are going up. I said this yesterday, I said this the day before. Red equals discount, not bad. Red is not bad. We need to change our brains because in society, when we see red, red is associated with stop, with a loss of momentum. When you see a red light and you're driving, you stop. When you see a stop sign, which is red, you stop. All of this in the crypto market, we're trained to think, oh, red means a stop of momentum. No, red means discount. A lot of these coins are up. For example, Dog with Hat, Lo-Fi, and then there's some other ones like Cat and Luna, which are still up, and they were up yesterday. Peanut the Squirrel, Dog with Hat, tons of these big name ones are up, and they were down yesterday. So in the time it took to make one video, from the difference between one video yesterday and today's video, it's insane the difference of how much can change. So now let's look at the charts to see why exactly this is changing. Okay, looking at the charts here, we can see that Bitcoin overall is still on a downtrend. Starting with the question that we proposed earlier in the video, how far can it go down before we should start panicking? Well, let's look at the last bull run and see what happened then. Well, we can see in the last bull run, before we had this ultra peak up here, we had a pullback from $63,000 down to $29,000. So we had a pullback of over 50% before we started going up again, and then broke an all-time high and made it to $68,000 before the top of the market. So you can see here that if we zoom in again, we were at a high of $106,000, which means we can go down to $56,000 all the way down here before we can see the same type of pullback as we did in the last bull run. So you can see here that this is just a drop in the bucket. But realistically, one area I think is going to be retested is the high 80s, low 90s zone, which is right here. You can see here there's an area of consolidation right here, which peaks at around 90,000 and the bottom was 87,000. So you can see high 80s, low 90s looks like a strong area of support for it to start going up again. But again, red equals discount. So if you had $1,000 to buy Bitcoin, rather than put it in all right now, what I'd recommend and what many people do, what I personally do, is dollar cost average. $100 here, $100 here, $100 here. So then eventually you may not time the bottom perfectly. This may be the bottom, this may not. But if you dollar cost average, then you actually can catch the bottom because you didn't put your 1,000 in all at once. Now let's look at some coins we've been tracking in the past to kind of gauge how this pullback has been doing. Looking at Solana. Solana, we actually hit the bottom of the market 2 days ago. So now Solana, it hit 179 and now it's at 191. So Solana has had a pretty nice push to the upside, which is what we are seeing on the meme coins I showed you earlier in this video. Earlier you could see there was tons of green, and those were mainly coins, meme coins on the Solana blockchain. So you can see that when Solana and these when the meme coins do well, Solana does well. When Solana does well, the meme coins do well. You can see they help each other out. So is Solana going to moonshot all the way past its all-time high? I really don't know, but it's looking positive. You can see that in order for it to moonshot high, what we need to do is take it level by level. So right now we are finding support at the 0.786 level. In order to keep going, the next level is the 0.618, and then the 0.5, then the golden ratio. So many people make these crazy predictions of, oh, it can go this high, it'll drop this low, and predictions are useful, okay? Using technical analysis is a useful tool to know or watch others do so that you kind of have an estimate of where the market is going to go. But before we start betting all our money, putting all our eggs in one basket, one thing we need to do is set goals. And one of those goals are actually the Fibonacci levels. Those goals have been pre-made for us. So all we need to do is to accomplish these goals. So before we can worry about all-time highs, before we can worry about golden ratios, what we need to worry about is the 0.618 level. We need to worry about the next level before we can continue to move on and think about all these great numbers and how much money we're going to make and how we're going to buy a brand new supercar. Before we can think of all that, we need to accomplish the next level. That being said, let's move on to Dogecoin. Dogecoin has found some nice support around the 0.5 level, and that's exactly what we want to see. We want to see whenever a coin gathers at a certain level and uses that as support, then that is actually very bullish sign. Why? Because rather than just keep falling, it means the bulls and the bears are fighting, and the bears are worn out. Now they're not completely done yet because they're still pushing it down, but ultimately the bulls are starting to gain momentum. When the bulls push it up, the bears push it down. But slowly but surely, you can see the bulls have been moving it up a little bit, and this being the 0.5 zone right under the golden ratio, it's nice to see some area of consolidation so that we can gain some momentum before trying to break out into the golden ratio, because the golden ratio is a very pushy zone. It loves to push on the downside and then push on the upside. So once you can finally break through and turn the resistance into a support, that is a very bullish sign. Now let's go to Cardano. Cardano, it's not doing the greatest. If I'm being completely honest, Cardano is still finding support at that one level right here. At the swing low is where it's finding its support. It's very good. Let me say it's very good that it's finding support, but the level it's at is not really an ideal level. So for Cardano, before we start saying it's a scam, before we start saying, okay, it's going to moonshot, like I said for Dogecoin, next level. All we can do is focus on the next level. And you can see here that slowly but surely it's making a little bit of progress, but ultimately until we flip this 0.786 zone, then we can't really be saying how bullish Cardano is. I think it'll take a break for a while and hit a little range before it starts going up. Finally, let's look at XRP. XRP is doing this interesting thing where it doesn't want to find a zone for support. It's finding more of the entire zone rather than this specific bottom of the zone for support. For example, like I talked about XRP, Cardano right here. Cardano kind of likes to touch this one level and then continue up. Whereas XRP likes to touch this bottom of the 0.328, the bottom of the golden ratio, and it's trying to break out straight from the bottom here rather than go all the way down here and try to use this level as support, which is something very interesting that's happening. And it's making its own support right here at $2.18 rather than the golden ratio, which sits at $2.08. So is this a bad thing? I'd say no. It's actually a very bullish thing, but we do need to be careful here because if it does fail and if it cannot break out, then because it's not using a level as a support, it's more using just the mid zone here, then we could see the bears start to win and start to very push it down to a very low lows only because there's no support. It's created its own support, but there's no Fibonacci support here. So it's trying to make something that is not there. So what have we seen in today's video? We've seen that the meme coins overall have been going up today, which means that yesterday when they were red, they were not technically losing coins. What they were doing was they were giving you a discount. They were giving you an opportunity to buy in before they move up. We've seen that Bitcoin is still down, but it's nowhere near a concerning level. We've seen that it could find support at the high 80s, low 90s. And finally, we've seen that many of these coins we've been tracking have been finding support before they try and make their next big move. So now is really the time while everybody's out celebrating, while everybody else is giving gifts. Now's the time to lock in, look at the charts, see what's happening because some big moves could be happening and you could miss out. Now, one way to not miss out is by subscribing because when you subscribe, that means that every day, without doing your own technical analysis, which you should be doing, every day though, you're going to get a notification from me telling you what is going on in the market. What you can do is do your own research and then see what I say. And if our ideas align, then that means it's a pretty good idea. Or if they don't align, you can see, well, whose idea do you choose? Why did we each come to the conclusion we came to? Overall, it's a good idea to have someone for free telling you what they think every single day. Every single day. Meaning you can turn it on when you get up to wash your face, to go to work, to walk your dog. No matter what, you can just listen to what's happening and have someone else's opinion to back your opinions, to oppose your opinions and make your opinions stronger. And you can do all of this by subscribing. So I will catch y'all tomorrow. Adios.